Hi guys, I hope you're keeping safe during this COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Pamina Soenaina, Managing Partner here at Corporate Staffing Services. And today we are doing our video just a bit different because I have a special guest with me. And her name is Silvia. She's special because she's a colleague at Corporate Staffing Services. And she's here just to help us understand how professionals are coping with the situation. So I thought, why not talk to someone who I work closely with so that she can share her experiences. And from there, we can learn one or two things. So, Sylvia, we start with introductions. So,
Okay.
please share with our audience who you are, at a personal level, and what you do here at Corporate Staffing Services.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wainaina. So my name is Silvia Jambi, and I work here at Corporate Staffing Services. I am an account manager. I basically do the entire process, right from onboarding clients and bringing them on board when they pick up our services. We are a recruitment firm, so obviously when now clients want to recruit for their companies, I'm the person who goes to these people to meet the clients, to explain our services to them, and then we bring them on board. And so once we have begun the process, also I do the interviewing and the entire process up to the point where we deliver the right candidate and the qualified candidate to the client. So in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Thank you for that. So, we know the situation that we are in. I mean, it's been how many weeks? 6 weeks now since the
Wow.
president requested that companies allow employees to work at home.
Right.
So, just like I had shared with you, I wanted us to just to hear from a professional how has it been for those for the last 6 weeks. But before we get there, I wanted to know what plans do you have for 2020? The year is still young. I don't think anyone had seen this, had predicted this.
Right,
And
I
here we
know.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What plans do you have for 2020?
Wow, I think just like everyone else, I had lots of plans. I don't make resolutions, by the way, but I try to set goals instead.
Okay.
So, yes, I did have quite a number of those, some personal goals and probably some related to my job. As the year began, I think as an account manager, because my job entails selling, I think one of the things that I really hoped for was to really, of course, smash the targets and hit the targets and take the fat check home, like everybody else,
Okay.
So that was a key thing for me, especially in the first quarter. But of course, because of the pandemic, that has changed. Because of course, business has gone down. So of course, those goals have not been met, ideally, because the sales, of course, have also gone down. So I'll say that's how, of course, the pandemic has affected that specific goal for me. In terms of probably in my personal life or in personal development, I am doing my thesis, and so that's also something that has been affected quite a bit because we cannot go to the campus for the defense, etc. So everything that we are doing is now online. So of course the process is slower. Yeah. So I think that those are some of my two goals which I think have been affected by the pandemic. Yeah.
I remember us having a meeting at our boardroom when obviously now it became apparent that things have changed.
Yes.
How did it feel? The first week, especially the first week when you knew, wow, things have changed now. How did it feel?
I think for me, when it began, it probably hadn't sunk in just how serious this is.
Are you among the people who are partying and
Definitely not. Definitely
getting
not.
ambulances?
To go to parties.
Yes.
No. I was not among that group. But I think I just carried on with my life. Basically, that's what I'll say. Because we even didn't think this was going to come to Kenya. Most of us thought, there was a rumor it wasn't even affecting, Africans.
Yeah.
So there was that mindset that we kind of all had. We didn't know how serious it was, and so we carried on with life. But I think, as you say, when now we got into this board meeting where we could, we were trying to see the way forward. How do we keep the business alive? So I think that's when it dawned on me that, you know, this is serious.
It has hit home.
It's hit home, and it's going to really affect the business. And the business being affected means me being affected as well. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say has changed after March 16th?
So many things have changed.
First, let's start at a personal level. Sylvia, as an individual, as a mother, as a wife, before we go to the professional, what has changed?
First, I have saved on fuel.
Oh, okay.
Because of course it takes me 15 minutes or 20 minutes to get to work. So that is a very good thing. Very, very good thing. That's on the positive side. Life has changed for me as well, because I'm loving the flexibility of the hours. I mean, we were used to being on this rush and just this, you know, it's like you know, like you're a robot. You wake up at this time, do this. And so there's a bit of flexibility that has come with the pandemic, which also I feel as though is a positive, and I've embraced it as it is. As a wife and as a mother, it has affected me as well on the positive again, because I must say that I get home earlier, of course, and I'm able to do a thing or two before, of course, just retiring to bed. So I think, yes, it has affected me in that way, on a personal level.
Okay. Are there some things that now, you know, I think you focus more on the positives, but are there situations where your things either have slowed down or you're doing them differently because of this?
Yes. So I think, let me just also capture some of the negatives that maybe have come with the pandemic for me as a person individually. So we all, as you said, we had set goals, etc. The pandemic comes with some fears for everybody. And if you're employed anywhere, I mean, you can understand what I'm talking about. So you will not spend just the way you used to spend. Spending habits, of course, change, because now you don't even know really what tomorrow holds. So you're trying to also save up as much as you can, because you don't know when this thing is going to end. So that is also a negative. You can't just spend, or, you know, so that's a negative as well. And I don't know, what else had you asked?
Are there some things you've cut out? Even the finances bit, are there some things probably you're not spending money on because of taking care of the future?
Yes, I'll say yes, because as I said earlier, you try to save as much as you can. So you buy the necessities, which is food. So of course the others are automatic. Like I cannot meet anyone for coffee. I cannot meet a friend for a drink or whatever. I can't, because of the circumstance. You don't go to the salon. In fact, I think we waste so much money on the salon. We go to the salon every 2 weeks. We've realized you can actually stay without, you know, doing all these things, and you're still fine.
The governor from Murang'a said now couples can shave each other.
I know. I saw that. Yes. So I think those are some of the things that have changed for me. But yes, saving is there. Of course it's there. And just trying as much as you can to save every coin. Yes.
Are there lessons you've learned?
From a professional point, or from...
Let's start from
professional point. Some of the lessons I've learned, I think I have come to appreciate how we do business, especially as corporate staffing. Let me speak for corporate staffing. I think I've come to appreciate how we do business, because our focus has always been to maintain relationships and to create relationships with our clients. We are not a touch and go business where you just come, do the service, and then, you know, and then you close. We try as much as we can to work with clients. We try as much as we can to talk to our clients. We form relationships. You know, when we are doing our interviews, etc., you go for lunch with your client, you get to know this person, sometimes even on a personal level, which has helped a lot during the pandemic. Because when business goes down, if it was touch and go, you'll find it hard to pick the phone to even call your client and find out how are they doing. But it's been easier for us because it was a relationship from the word go. So checking up on them and just seeing how are they doing has been easier for us, and they don't wonder where is this person coming from to just ask me how am I doing, etc. So I think I've come to appreciate that bit of
the need for relationships, investing in building networks and being there for the clients.
Yes,
okay,
exactly. I've come to appreciate that, and I feel as though I mean businesses should borrow this regardless of the kind of business you're in. Even if you sell computers or whatever, you have to create relationships. So I think that's one thing I've really come to appreciate.
Be personal.
Yeah, be personal with the client, and that helps even for you as an individual. As you also try to, I mean, after the pandemic, you'll need your clients. So if you checked up on them, or if you had this relationship earlier, it becomes very easy for you to pick up conversation with them. Yeah. So
post COVID-19.
Post COVID-19, I hope it's ending soon. It needs to
end.
We
hope so. We hope so. That's all we can do for now, as we also follow the government. Regulations, whatever they're asking us to do.
Right.
Yeah. What about at an individual level?
Yeah.
As a professional, what you've learned, what have you learned, especially bearing in mind there are a lot of things happening. Some people have lost jobs. Companies are asking for people to take pay cuts. Right. Just now, today, I was reading in the newspaper, even the military are being asked to take a pay cut.
Wow.
So how has this situation impacted on you as a professional?
So there's something I have kind of observed, rather, because most of the times as employees, and then most employees who are out there, separate, or rather will go to work just because they have to, and because they have to pay their bills. So people sometimes refuse to do the work from your heart. You know the way you can work from your heart. And so it's something I've really come to see, like during this pandemic, you need to, as a professional, you need to take up this business, rather do your job like this business was yours. And the reason why I have felt that is important is because when we had the meeting where, I mean, we were trying to see what ways we can, what can we take up to see that this company stays afloat and business continues. I mean, I asked myself, if this was my business where I began it from scratch, what would I do? So, and I felt as though, I mean, everybody must play their part. And part of it means you doing everything possible to keep that business going, because you need it tomorrow. So as a professional, I feel as though so many professionals out there just do the job. They just do the job just because
they just turn up.
Yeah, they just,
they take somewhere 8 to 5 when the day is over.
Yeah.
Let others do their part.
Exactly. But what if everybody in that company decided to give it put your best foot forward every day, not just because we have COVID-19, but ordinarily, even as you just do your job. Like, how much would you push the business forward? So I think that's one thing I have, I just observed, and I plan to continue to do. Yeah.
But there are some people who you say, well, also the government, the company doesn't give it all. They don't support me. They don't go out of their way to make my career a success, or even life a success.
Right.
So why should I care? Why should I even bother? Yeah.
I think the issue here is more around attitude. For me, I feel it's more around attitude, because, I mean, we are even told in the Bible, God can't bless. For God to bless what you are doing, you have to embrace it. You have to take it, embrace it. It's not about the company, but this is not something you do for the company. It's for yourself. It's so that you can be happy at what you're doing. So it's more around probably an attitude angle. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when this is all over, are there some things you'd want to see change? The way we work? Are there some things? Not generally, not even just at corporate staffing services, but you see the work environment.
Yeah.
Are there some things you'd want to see change?
Even for other employers, or?
Yeah, even for other employers.
Yeah, of course, yes. I feel as though we waste a lot of time on the road. In fact, I don't know what we're usually doing on the road. We waste a lot of time on the road. A typical day for me would start very early, at probably 10 minutes to 5. I don't know why 10 minutes to 5, but yeah, 4:50.
That's the time you wake up.
That's the time I wake up, at 4:50, because there's a lot I have to do before I can leave the house.
Okay.
As I said, I am a mother, I am a wife. Yes, I have to pack lunch for some people, I have to put some uniforms ready, etc. So I leave the house between 6 and 6:15. And that's so that I don't get caught up in traffic. So I get to work at about 7 a.m. and then that's when my day begins. So I, answer email, I respond to emails, I try to do my to-do list and to just, plan my day. And my day officially should start at 8:30. So I came in an hour and a half.
You have to come
before.
in early because of traffic.
Exactly, because of traffic. So a lot of time is wasted on the road, And so even as the day moves forward, as much as I'm supposed to leave the office at 5:30, of course I leave maybe between 6 and 6:30. So by the time I'm getting home, my son got home at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So you can see the amount of time, of course, he's just been. So he does his homework with the nanny. So I thank God, because the nanny at least does a good job. Otherwise, I don't know what I would do.
The grades are good.
Yes.
There's evidence
Yes.
to that.
Yes.
Okay.
The grades are good.
Okay.
So he does his homework with the nanny. So my role is to come and check and then see, how did he do his work. I sign his diary, etc. And I'm a mother and wife. So I also cook. I know people get shocked that I cook every day after leaving work. But yes, I cook every day. I leave work and I go and cook. I try to do quick meals so that by 7:45 we are having our dinner, right? So my son goes to bed at 9. But that's when I begin now to also see, okay, so how is this, how is everything? I try to catch up with the nanny and to see if everything is going okay, etc. What should I replace in the house, etc. So I sleep between 10:30 and 11 p.m.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So I see as though there's a lot of time that we just waste on the road and we shouldn't. Yeah. And I also feel that there's a possibility to have it all for me as a wife and a mother to have my career. Yeah. If employers embraced the fact that we don't necessarily have to work 8:30 to 5:30 or 9 to 6. Yeah.
So the traditional working hours now, the myth has been debunked. That it's not that someone has to be productive, it's only productive between 9 and the 5 p.m.
Right.
So in your case, does that mean you'd be okay coming to work at 6:30 a.m. and you leave at 2:30 p.m.?
Exactly.
So long as you've met your goals for the day.
Exactly. Okay. 6:30 even to 3:30, because I feel as though if you come early, you do a lot. You do quite a bit, and then it allows people. It allows you as an employer to also pay attention to people's personalities and temperaments and who they are. There are people who are very, very productive in the morning, but give them something past 6 p.m. and they're just looking at you in a gaze, But call them for a meeting even at 7:30. They show up. 7 a.m. they show up. So it gives you an opportunity as an employer also to just let your employers fit into who they are. They'll be better and they'll be more productive. Yeah.
So what you're asking for is flexibility. So if Pamina's works best from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., she'll be given a chance to do that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. I feel as though it would be, also depending on the nature of the job, Like, there are people who, their work, you can work up to 8. But they are, maybe for other people, they have to officially have their hours.
They have to be at the station at those working hours.
But it's good to embrace and just try and speak to your employees and see how, what would be best for you. And you'll have more productivity.
Okay. So the key thing here is productivity. It's not just people showing up.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. It's not just people showing up and also, I will also mention something. There are so many mothers who have given up their careers, not because they want to give up their careers, but because the way we have, there's, especially in Kenya.
The corporate world, the way it's structured.
Exactly,
it's
corporate world, yes.
It's not ideal for, I would say, young mothers.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. You'll have to give up one. And most of the time, of course, you can't give up your family.
Yeah, it's about the career ends up suffering.
Exactly, okay. Yeah.
What about the remote working? Here at corporate staffing, we are working 2-3 days a week compared to the Monday to Saturday. What's your take on the remote working? Have you been very productive? Or are you just eating
and sleeping.
eating and sleeping, and clients
Watching
are
TV.
here. Yes. How has this impacted on your productivity?
I think it's amazing, to be honest. I think it's amazing. Of course, for me, I don't think I would be home. Like I wouldn't want to be home for the 2 days. I'd still want to do my 5 days. 5 days a week. I'd still want to do that. Of course, with the flexible hours. But I think yes, you are more productive and you get to also rest in between the week. This is the other thing that I observe. When you have a corporate job where you work Monday to Friday, the other thing that comes about is that this person can never do official business. Like if you need to visit an office on a Tuesday, unless you get an off.
Okay.
It's not possible because you work Monday to Friday. I mean, the only time you have off is Saturday and Sunday, which are pretty, So there's a lot in terms of flexibility that employers can embrace. If you have personal things to do like school, etc., maybe go to see professor or whoever. There's a lot of things that employers might need to look at when it comes to flexibility. Yeah.
And I know we've spoken about it, but just what do you think is the reason why most employers are not that flexible? Yeah.
I think it's discipline.
Okay.
For employees, and it's something which can be cultivated from company to company. So we have this kind of people, as I said earlier, people have an attitude towards work, and so you're like, I mean, these people have been working the whole year, so I need to rest. There's some sort of attitude, and so, but when you know what you're doing and when you know what your job is, then you will give it your all.
You'll be more disciplined.
But I think employers shy away from it because you'll give people offs, they'll go at home and sleep and not be productive and eat, and then you find them in town. So yeah, so there's that.
Okay.
So I think they're afraid that when they give people the power to just work, but I think it's not something we probably employers need to just give it a shot and see. You'd rather say you tried and people did pick it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So like I said, it's a trying moment. People have lost jobs. There are all these issues to do with pay cuts. There's a lot of uncertainty. What would be your message or even advice to professionals?
I'll say keep the hope alive. That's what I'll say to everybody. Keep the hope alive. And the beauty is that this is not something that is just affecting you as an individual. It's affecting everyone, and not just Kenya. It's affecting everybody.
It's global.
Yes, it's global. And so I find some hope in that, to know that we are not alone and everybody is going through this trying moment, etc. I'll say also make changes. Don't go back to work after COVID-19 the same way you were before. Have a change of mind. As whether you're an employee or an employer, see how you can change your mindset in how you look at things and the perspective, just the way you look at things. Make sure you're not the same person as after COVID-19, do something new, personal development. Yeah. But the key thing is to just keep the hope alive. That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Okay. And to employers, briefly, what you do tell employers?
Wow. So I know it's not an easy time for employers, especially because I know businesses have been affected a lot, and some are wondering how they're going to pick up the pieces, after this. The other thing is there's also a lot of positive things that could come from COVID-19, and I feel as though business will never be the same again. Not just for corporate staffing, but for all other companies. Business will never be the same again. Things will change, even in the way people do business as well. And even as employers, actually, you'll start to ask yourself so many questions, even regarding, how are these employees? Do all my employees have to come to the office? Do I need all these people? You'll need to make so many decisions as an employer. But so the thing is to sit down and see how is your business being affected and how can you move it forward and pick up the pieces after COVID-19. What changes can you make, basically, to just see that you move forward?
Take time to reflect, look at your processes, systems, and see what needs improving.
Yes.
And even I believe for me the biggest takeaway is even how we relate to each other as employer and employees. Because even listening to you and other professionals out there, you get a sense that there's a gap.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't be a gap for people who are working towards a common goal. Yeah. So I think this is one of those moments where it's a disaster, yes, but I think it's not only at corporate level, even at family level. It's time for people to come together and just see how to pull together and be able to pull through, because that's the only way out.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yes, and I know where you're coming from when you say there's that gap. So
exactly.
Yeah. So yes, employers should look at how can they reduce
that gap.
That gap. Yeah.
Okay. What about the people who've lost jobs?
Again, as I was saying earlier, because it's different for everybody. Some people have had to take pay cuts, and others have had to. Some don't even have jobs, not because the employer wanted to let them go, because of the situation. You can't keep paying people from your pocket. So again, keep the hope alive. But then again, other opportunities will come after COVID-19. Very, very many opportunities. I mean, speaking from a recruitment place, I know that this is something that's going to really happen. And there will be jobs. The same way you've lost a job, there's another company that has rethought and felt we need to probably hire somebody else who has these skills. A lot is going to change. So don't lose hope because you lost a job. Just grow yourself during this time. Do the online courses if you can, just to grow yourself and to see how you can better yourself. And then after COVID-19, I can assure you there's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to come through from different fields. And so this is your opportunity to apply. And of course, yes, apply through corporate staffing services.
Yeah. And just to add on to what she said, I mean, as we are still operational, the jobs may not be as many as in the past, but if you visit our website, you still see that there are vacancies. There are still employers who are hiring. It might be taking a bit longer than it usually does, but she said, keep checking our website for opportunities. So Thank you so much, Silvia, for being very forthcoming. And any final words to our viewers?
I think I had already given my final word, but yes, let's embrace the situation that is currently there. Of course, take the measures as well, but above everything, keep going. We have to ensure that even if the world has come to a standstill, that we are still going on, that we're still moving forward, despite the world being at a standstill. Yeah.
Great. So there you have it. You've heard from a professional. If there's any topic or anything you'd want us to address, please leave a comment and we'll be able to come back to you. So asante sana, keep safe, and God bless.
All right. Bye.